We all have to eat. You might as well find out where the best food is. From restaurant reviews to the fun of food from around the region to around the world. This is The Food Show with Andrew Coppolino on 570 News.
And welcome to The Food Show. I'm glad you're here with us every Sunday afternoon, starting at about 12 noon. And I'm already started off the show at a bit of a disadvantage because the two people that are joining me in the studio here from 570, I'm always laughing, and they're always somewhat troublesome.
What do you mean laughing?
Troublesome already.
What do you mean? Laughing at us? What do you mean?
You see what I
Funny
mean?
how?
I can't even get into the show properly. Glenn Pelche and Lisa Drew are here, 570 News morning anchor crew. Really glad to have you guys alongside.
And technically,
always fun to sit with you in the studio rather than me listening and or on the phone or whatever. So it's great that you're here.
And you want to still say good morning even with the time change,
yeah.
But technically we're good afternoon.
That time change completely discombobulated me. I woke up feeling with like I had vertigo symptoms. I was hallucinating. I think somebody in the radio business should do a feature on the devastating effect of setting the clock ahead 1 hour.
Well, I think someone has done it. Yeah, it changes your hormones.
Here's what you do, folks. It's
stuff.
Sunday morning. Sleep in an extra hour and then delineate the effect. Just a theory.
All right,
so
he's
everybody
wound
listening,
up and ready to go.
Holy guacamole!
Everybody listening now understands exactly how badly things are already out of control and the mayhem that will reign here. Now, ironically, when we have the sort of dysfunctional crew here of this kind of three jabbering radio hosts that sort of just work off the top of their heads, we have that juxtaposed with my other guest in the studio, Dustin Skew of Cedar Lane Culinary. And what he's all about is really controlling to every precise degree of measurement the cooking process with something called sous vide cooking. So he's completely diametrically opposed to my other guests, Glenn and Lisa. Dustin, welcome to the show.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
And I think you got a really good dose of how fun and zany things can
yes,
get.
right off the bat.
Welcome, Dustin.
And these guys usually...
It's also a shtick. I mean, if we were talking about global warming...
Right. That would be different.
However,
do you guys find, though, I mean, you guys work in sort of constrained sort of news editorial
I work
framework.
in a small room with Glenn every morning.
Okay, but then when you come on a show like this, when you don't have to be newsy, you can be wild and crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. Lisa and I talk about it a lot. I mean, we go on different talk shows occasionally, and we often talk about where do we draw that line between objectivity and giving opinion. And it's funny because I think Lisa and I both really respect objectivity in news and journalistic integrity.
Yes.
And it is a fine line. Crossing that line. How far do you go?
Do you cultivate a personality that's newsy and editorial? Like, I can be a goof and it doesn't really matter, but people then are going to want to listen to you on Monday morning and say, yeah, that's where I want to get my news from, and I believe they're fair and accurate, objective and truthful. I don't think
you cultivate a personality. I think you just. Your job is to try to be objective and read the news.
Okay, can we?
So we take that seriously. And in this case, we're talking about some fun stuff, and we can be
all right.
We can be opinionated, and it's much more. This is going to be much more relaxed than if we were giving our opinions on capital punishment or a murder case that's going on.
See,
or whatever.
I couldn't do that. I would have no opinion.
Anyway, how do we get off track?
Craig, let's get a caller in here. We want to have a food trivia quiz with Glenn and Lisa, and we'll get a caller in as well. So 579.
Are there prizes?
519-570-2545. That's 519-570-2545 or star 570 on your cell. And we'll just get the first caller in that you can, Craig, and we're gonna get them on the air, and we're going to do this little food quiz. The prize, Lisa. How about I take you out? I'll take you out to lunch.
I like
That's
a free lunch.
I'll take the winner out to lunch. So Craig, we also got to keep score
That's a
on
good
what
deal.
these things are.
Yeah,
Okay.
I understand Lisa's married to arguably her husband could be a chef. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
So she may have picked up
lucked out.
So this might be an unfair fight.
All right.
I'll try my best.
I can tell you how much water to put in Kraft dinner when you need to.
So Craig, why don't we start this, because there's about. Do you have to put water in?
Who measures water for Kraft dinner? I have this argument with my husband all the time. He measures, I don't.
As soon as you get him, we'll put him on the air and we'll start right away. Hello, have you got a caller yet? Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, who is this?
This is Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Glenn, we have two Glens.
One N or two.
Glenn, where are you calling from?
Up near Mount Forest.
Okay, and
God's country.
what is it? One N or two? Glenn Pelcher wants to know.
Two N's.
Two N's. Okay,
Yeah,
double N's.
You're like
Double
the
N's.
longer
Okay.
Glenn. That's good.
Are we ready? Here we go. Dustin, you can chime in too if you like.
Or share answers, Dustin.
Okay, so which of the following foods were introduced to America from Europe? The white potato, the tomato, the pumpkin, or none of the above?
White potato.
Oh.
You want us to answer now?
Yeah.
Well, just based on the way you've answered, it's got to be none of the above.
Nope. It's the white potato and the tomato.
See,
They were
all right,
both
cocky one.
They were both introduced to
Trick
Europe by the
question already.
Spanish, and they were unknown as food crops in America until the 18th century when they were brought back over to Europe. So it's old world coming back. So there you go. Well done, Glenn in Mount Forest. Number 2 is, which of the following dishes were born in Italy? Caesar salad, fettuccine primavera, chicken tetrazzini, none of the above, all of the above.
None of the above.
Lisa Drew gets that one.
I was going to say all of the above.
Caesar's got to be American.
Caesar salad is from Tijuana.
Oh, okay.
Caesar Cardini in Tijuana, Mexico. Fettuccine Primavera was created at New York's Le Cirque restaurant. Still in existence, that restaurant. Chicken Tetrazzini was named for the Italian opera singer Luisa Tetrazzini, but created in New York.
Wow.
Interesting.
Number 3. So we've got...
quick question.
Glenn?
This is one of those age-old questions that I've never heard the answer to, and I should know the answer. Is pizza an American or an Italian creation?
Oh, I would say Naples.
Okay.
I would say Naples
All
for,
right.
yeah. But I would say that every culture has its own sort of flatbread on which something else is put. So, yeah, but I would say Naples for sure. Number 3, so that went out to Lisa. Liederkranz cheese comes from which country?
Can you spell it, please?
Liederkranz. Does it come from Austria, Germany, the United States, Switzerland, or Italy?
Liederkranz. I'll say Switzerland.
Yeah, I would agree.
United States.
Wow.
Liederkranz was created in Monroe, New York in 1892.
Dustin, weigh in here.
Oh, this is a little out of my realm here. I am by no means a chef.
Yeah, but it was created in New York by a guy from Switzerland.
Are you there, Glenn, from Mount
Yep,
Forest?
yep,
Okay,
I am.
good. I just want to make sure you're still on the line. In 1925, how many restaurants were there in New York City? 7,000, 17,000, 700, 27,000, 170. This one's wide open.
700.
170.
Glenn?
17,000?
You got it, Glenn. 17,000 restaurants in New York.
Well, you
in
know what? I mean, back then-
1925.
What was the population of New York back then? It would have been like...
I don't know.
That is a huge number.
That is a huge number. And I
Yeah.
wonder how many there are now. I don't know. Maybe there's less. Okay, listen to these names very carefully now. Hello Billow, Corn Cure, Malt Ho, Triabita, Triachua, Oatsina, and Orange Meat were all brands of what type of food in the early 1900s?
I would have said beer, but that's
Breakfast
not a food.
cereals, health foods, vegetarian meat substitutes, varieties of corn, or candy bars?
Cereal.
You got it, Lisa. Breakfast cereals.
Orange
That's
meat.
right.
Gotta have some orange meat.
Breakfast cereals from Battle Creek, Michigan. The name Orange Meat, a competitor to Grape Nuts, had no nuts and no grapes, of course, and Orange Meat, but it had no oranges and no meat.
Isn't Kellogg's from Battle Creek?
Yes, they are, I think. Yeah.
That was a different
Get a
company.
bonus point for that.
The term moxie, meaning the ability to face difficulty and spirit and courage, comes from what? World War I Army slang, the name of a breakfast cereal, the name of a soft drink, a 1920s banker named George Moxie.
Breakfast cereal.
Anybody else?
Well, it's the food show, so...
I'll say the banker.
No, that's the name of a soft drink.
Oh, there you go.
But get this, though. The Moxie Nerve Food Company of Boston, famous for its soft drinks. Yikes. Okay. Hershey introduced the 5-cent chocolate bar in 1903. How long did the price remain a nickel? 21 years, 43 years, 52 years, 67 years, or 79 years? Just throw it out.
C.
It is D, 67 years.
Wow, till 1970?
The price of a Hershey bar remained 5 cents for 67 years until 1970. The size
Wow.
shrank considerably, though.
I remember, this is showing my age a little bit, but I can remember going to Food City in Scarborough and buying a Mars bar for 9 cents.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, maybe that was a sale price. I don't know.
Good price.
John Stith Pemberton, the Atlanta pharmacist who created Coca-Cola, sold a 2/3 interest in his company in 1887 for how much? $124, $283, $25 million.
What year was it?
1887.
What do you think, Glenn?
7. It'd be the
124?
the first one.
124?
Yeah.
Anybody else want to challenge that?
What were the options again?
283, 25 million, or no cash. It was a gift to his cousin.
I'll say 25 million.
I'll go with D.
Hershey was a candy maker who became... Oh, sorry, that's the wrong question here. Atlanta pharmacist bought the Coca-Cola formula for $2,000 from new owners, and when he sold it and turned the company in 1919, it was worth $25 million.
Ooh.
Wow.
While we're on the subject of Hershey, Milton Stavely Hershey became rich selling first what kind of candy product? Caramel, saltwater taffy, chocolate bars, gumdrops, chocolate drops.
Saltwater
Yeah,
taffy.
saltwater
No,
taffy.
he started with caramels. Caramels were the way he started.
Whenever I hear saltwater taffy, I just think of that era.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't even know what it is.
It's
By the seaside.
I just know what it's
By
all.
the
Yeah,
seaside.
this gets stuck in your teeth. More than 75% of the world's supply of maple syrup comes from where? Vermont,
Elmira.
France, New York, Canada, or Minnesota?
Canada.
Canada.
Absolutely, Canada.
We'll give that one to Glenn from
We'll
Mount
give that one
Forest.
to
Mount
Glenn. I
Forest,
think
yeah.
there's a bit of a. I think there's a bit
I
of
think
a,
our
I
mic
think
is
there's
a little
bit of a-
faster.
We're going to add up these results, and we'll let you know who the winner is, and then that will decide who goes.
Isn't it great
out
that we have
for the
listener in Mount Forest? I think that's
That is. I think
fantastic.
that's wonderful. Yeah.
Glenn,
so
did you know the late Fred Barnhart?
I ran the hardware store.
No, he was the OPP, one of the OPP officers up there.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Glenn. Give your number to Craig. Make sure you've got his number so we can get in touch with you when we tally the scores at the end of the show.
Okay, that'd be great.
Thanks for joining us, Glenn.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you very much for calling. That's
We'll see
Glenn
you at the Mount
calling
Royal
from Mount
sometime,
Forest.
eh?
Yeah, at the Mount Royal. There you go. Okay, and I'm really pleased to have with me Dustin Skew here in the studio, and as well Glenn Peltier and Lisa Drew, the morning news anchor team from 570. You can listen to them starting at what time every morning? At
5 a.m.
5 a.m. Oh, my
5
goodness,
until
that's
9.
Very, very, very early. But look, it's a little bit early, but we are going to take a bit of a break here. When we come back, we're going to learn the cooking ways of sous vide, and believe me, it's not just boil in a bag. You're listening to 570 News.
This is the Food Show with Andrew Coppolino. To call Andrew, 519-570-2545. By cell, star 570. Or toll free, 1-800-570-5715. This is the Food Show with Andrew Coppolino on 570 News.
And there we are. Welcome back once again to the second segment. This is the Food Show. I'm Andrew Coppolino, and I'm really pleased to have with me in the studio my friends from 570 News, the morning anchor crew, Glenn Peltier and Lisa Drew.
And not necessarily in that order.
Not necessarily in that order.
We always
Who gets further-
we shake up the order.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. Like,
Absolutely.
you know, have some teams where it's got to be like so and so and so and so. It's
Right.
Lisa and Glenn and
Wow,
Glenn and Lisa,
that's
Lisa
nice.
and Glenn, Lisa and
Drew and
Glenn.
Peltier.
So, just saying, eh?
I know you're saying.
You know, mind you, it's Don and Ron and Hockey in Canada.
Yeah, I know. It's not Ron and Don.
Not
Their
for
time
long.
has passed anyway. Oh, we didn't let that one slip in, did we? Hey, look at you guys are really interested downtown Kitchener folks. I know that because we've spoken about this in the past. And we've discovered recently a pretty fun little restaurant that's, I think, gaining a lot of traction in the Kitchener, downtown Kitchener area. And it's something that's really, really needed. It is a Mexican restaurant. It's not a formal Mexican restaurant. It's a very relaxed, casual, I won't say fast food, although it is fast. But it's called Holy Guacamole, and we all had a little tete-a-tete over some guacamole. And I'm interested in knowing what you guys thought of the
Well,
place.
first of all, let me just say that the day that we were there, we got there early, just shortly after 11:30.
Yep.
And as soon as 12 o'clock hit, hey, Lise, the place
was crowded.
bombarded
Yeah.
with people from the downtown community, including a number of workers at the regional headquarters on Frederick Street, people that work at Urban Herb, people that work all over the downtown, and they
There's
were
a
there.
government office right across
and they
the
were there in
street, isn't there?
droves,
Yeah.
and these were people that you could tell had a bit of money to throw around, so they weren't just there for the value, which was great value for the money.
Yep.
But also, you could tell they had a little bit of discerning taste, and they decided to have lunch there. So that spoke volumes to me.
The surprising thing for me is, and maybe you can comment on this, Lisa, that there's 3 or 4 dishes only. It's not
That's
like a
right.
wide menu. You've got your basic burritos, quesadillas, tacos.
And your sides, the
And the
great
things-
guacamole, fantastic fresh salsa, which is so hard to find. There used to be a guy that used to sell it at the Kitchener Market. I would go there every weekend to get it. He's disappeared.
What do you think
great
of the decor?
salsa.
What do you think of the decor? What's
It
your
was
sort of
bright,
impression?
sunny, clean, nice big windows. You know, you walked in. It was just a nice. It was a nice atmosphere.
Glenn?
It kind of reminded me, and I should point out that the city, as part of the ongoing effort to rejuvenate the downtown, has decided to call that particular block of Duke Street between Queen and Frederick Shops on Duke. The Shops on Duke Street,
Okay.
Shoppes,
Okay.
with these
Shoppies.
the Shops on Duke Street, and it reminded me of an effort years ago to create Belmont Village.
That's right.
To me, it's got the start of that kind of a feel.
Yeah.
So it's got that going for it. We're talking about retrofitting some of these. That whole block, that original building, has been around since the 20s.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
and
facade.
the interior, it kind of reminded me, and I've never been to New York, Lisa has, but it kind of reminded me of the image I would have of a little out-of-the-way New York City kind of place.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing I liked about it, I guess, was that it picked up a lot of the sort of Mexican feel with the colors, the tile, the brightness, without being a kitschy thing.
It was
with
a fresh
sombreros
take on
hanging
it.
the wall.
Definitely
Yeah.
a fresh take. No sombreros,
Yeah,
which is always kind of
some
nice.
peppers on the wall, but
Yeah.
really a nice decor. Very bright, open, welcoming, clean-looking, just sharp. It had sharpness to it, which I really appreciate.
And there was a certain amount of authenticity to it.
Absolutely.
You could tell it wasn't a franchise.
Right.
5 kinds of burritos, 5 kinds of quesadillas, a number of different tacos, and cooked fresh right there.
What'd you have, Glenn?
I had the Mexican pulled pork burrito. It was $6.99, so very reasonable and very. It was big. It was almost. You could take some of it home if you wanted.
It was,
In fact,
it was a hefty.
yeah,
hefty
Lisa
thing,
was going to take part of her.
I really
whatever she
was,
had
and then I
home,
ate
and then
the
she
whole
gave it
thing.
to me.
What did you have, Lisa?
Oh, I thought I had some of yours too. Oh, you know, 'cause you
I think
wanted
I
some of
shared
yours.
my nachos with you.
But very good price. Sorry. go
Yeah,
ahead,
no,
Lisa.
he's right. I did the burrito as well. I did the whole wheat burrito with the lime marinated chicken, and it was fantastic. And I think I tried just about every topping you could put on that.
And it was heavy.
Yeah.
You know, when you
But-
got it, and cooked. Another thing too, very quick service. Very quick. You weren't standing around waiting.
Yep.
No.
I had the chipotle beef, which I found was very good, and I agree with you. It's heavy, it's dense, but the thing that I would say, and dense in a good way. I mean, like there's a lot of flavor packed in there. The thing that I really liked about it, and the thing that I find difficult about some cuisines, is the way the flavors kind of meld and blend together in an indistinguishable kind of way. This didn't do that. I got layers of flavor. I could taste the beef. I could taste got a little bit of hit of the chipotle spice. I could taste the refried beans, the salsa. All that stuff sort of had layers of flavor. Yes, Mr.
Can
Peltier.
you explain to me, because you just used the word again? Now, I've been around a long time,
Right.
and I'm
Did
fairly well.
Did I use the word wrong?
I'm fairly
wrongly?
no. I'm fairly well versed on trends and pop culture and things that are coming in and out, and fads that are hot and fads that are
You're
cold.
asking the wrong guy.
When the heck did this word chipotle suddenly pop up
that
and
early
become
90s?
everyone's using?
Yeah.
No, it's much more. I'm seeing it now
Like the
like
new
I've never
trend?
seen it before. Chipotle this, Chipotle that.
Yep.
What the heck started this?
Well, that's a good question. I can't answer. Dustin, I don't know if you've used the term.
Like it's fairly recent.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it all the time. And I've never, up until like 2 years ago, never even knew the word existed. Chipotle. You can get Chipotle anything now.
Yeah.
I think there's Chipotle sauce at Subway.
Yeah,
That's what I'm familiar with.
It's made it
You
into
can
the
get it
mainstream.
anywhere.
Yeah, it's made it into the
You
mainstream.
can get
Nah,
Chipotle gasoline now.
That's a
for
good
this.
study. It's a good study. Ancho peppers are the other ones. Ancho ancho peppers.
No, but it's just
are-
become this sort of de rigueur kind of thing
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Chipotle.
Yeah. That's the
Just
trend.
wondering
That's
where
a
it started.
Well, I don't know. I can't answer that question,
All right,
but
well.
it is a good one.
Maybe the U of
what
W
about
can do a study
you were
on
really you were really interested in the in how quickly the food got to us. I said it was fast food, but it's not fast food. It's good food that's fast. They can serve it fast.
Yeah.
It is a pretty quick process.
Yeah.
And you basically order your thing and move along the
That's right.
aisle. And
Yeah, like I say, it was very efficient service, but it's fresh. It's made. It's all.
And it
it's
went
all done
into
from scratch.
like a panini press almost to
but what's
warm it up
interesting
a
about
bit.
that? Did you notice
Get it
with the panini
wrapped.
press? Yeah, they wrap it first and then they heat it, rather than like there's no grill marks on it, so it's just a way to quickly warm the outside of the thing, and then they serve it to you. But I like the balance of the flavors. That's the thing that really struck me. Now they also have quesadillas. We didn't get a chance to try them, and I tried some of the roasted, and I think you did too, Lisa. Some of the roasted vegetable tacos,
Which is very good.
which were really good too. Yeah, it's nice to have fresh roasted vegetables for people that don't want to eat proteins.
and
things
the most expensive thing on the item on the menu, most expensive item on the menu is $6.99, and that's probably like their average price, $6.99.
And you can do the whole combo where you get your drink and your nachos as well. I think it was all about $10. So
Yeah.
reasonable lunch if you're going out with some friends from the office and
I think-
grabbing a lunch.
Can we also point out, like,
quick and healthy.
for the office community, they're doing something really smart given their location, Duke between Queen and Frederick. You can pre-order your lunch. You place your order by 10:30 in the morning. They'll have it ready for pickup no later than 12 noon. So you can order it. You can fill out an order form and fax it to them, and they'll
That's a good thing.
Or phone it in, and,
That's a good thing,
they'll
yeah.
pick it up.
That's a good thing.
You can pick it up, and they'll have it ready for you. That's a great thing.
Yep.
So let me get your final comments on Lisa. Sort of was just
I loved it, and while we were eating, I said I would totally grab one of these and take it home for my husband. And it's nice to have another Mexican venue. They disappear so quickly when we do get them in town. There's nowhere. So just to have this, and it's a fresh take on it, I think is pretty exciting.
And I like
I
the,
also
I like
admit
the
to you,
format,
too,
yeah.
I'm not a huge Mexican food fan, but I found that this menu that I saw there and that I sampled will appeal to people who aren't necessarily, hardcore Mexican food fans.
Right.
There's a lot there.
Chipotle included.
That's right. Now we're going to Google that when we get off the air.
The pulled pork burrito is Mexican pulled pork burrito was excellent.
Well, I think we're in agreement here. We're going to give it five
sombreros.
Five
Very
sombreros. I'm going to give no sombreros. 5 Chipotles.
I'm going to give 5
sombreros.
Chipotles.
Okay. Not just 5 sombreros, but sombreros with the little pom pom thingies.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
And a quick note, because I did love the fresh salsa, and I have searched the city for it since my favorite guy at the market disappeared a few years ago. You can get a decent-sized tub to take home and pass it off as yours when you're having a party.
There you go.
Oh, I made it myself. That's
Quickly,
all.
8 Duke Street, Kitchener.
Yep.
Between Queen and Frederick, and they have a website, great website if you want to know what's going on there to place your order. FreshMex, that's freshmex.ca.
And they're on Twitter at Holy Guac.
At Holy Guac, yeah. So look them up, and we are giving them our stamp of approval here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It was lovely.
Well, assessing food, atmosphere, service, and prices, dining out, restaurant reviews, and tasting notes on the Food Show are based on anonymous and unannounced visits to the establishments. Although Glenn sometimes I think
waiting for that. He goes, hi, here we're here to review the restaurant. Did Andrew?
They were
I guess we blew the cover.
But they were so startled by this bold proclamation that I don't think it really didn't twig on them. In any event, the important thing is that restaurants do not pay for any portion of the reviewer's meal. That belongs to Pete Travers here of 570 News General Manager. I want to thank you guys. You'll stick around because we have some really interesting coming up. I'm sorry, fans. I sort of misintroduced Dustin. We had to go with Drew and Lisa first. So for more information about Holy Guacamole, visit freshmex.ca. But stay tuned. We have to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to learn about sous vide with Dustin Skew. I'm Andrew Coppolino. You're listening to 570 News.
It's that time of year again when
We all have to eat. You might as well find out where the best food is. From restaurant reviews to the fun of food from around the region to around the world. This is The Food Show with Andrew Coppolino on 570 News.
And here we go. Welcome back once again. This is The Food Show. I am Andrew, and it's great to be here with you with Glenn Pelche and Lisa Drew. Lisa Drew and Glenn Pelche. However you want to order it, they're still the same group.
We're okay
570 morning news anchor folks. They get up at,
3 a.m.
And I don't know how you guys do that. And oh my gosh, that is quite a story. So now, how long are you on the air? You're from 5 until
9.
Okay.
Yeah, the full news wheel.
And then your day's done, and you go home and have
we just leave right at 9 and eat burritos.
Well, the
it was only laddie.
The limo comes and gets us.
Okay, yeah. And then you pick up the burritos. Okay.
That's right.
Okay, well, the phrase itself translates as under vacuum. It's a cooking technique in which vacuum-sealed food is cooked gently and precisely in a water bath under strictly controlled temperatures for perfect results. And to tell us a little bit more about that, we do have Dustin Skew here of Cedar Lane Culinary. Welcome again to the show. It's a little bit crazy, sorry.
That's fine.
You got dropped right into it. It was like a baptism by sous vide fire.
I'm having fun.
So, sous vide, this is not new. This is a fairly old technique, really.
Yes.
But it's become more popular over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, exactly. So the technique has been around since about the 60s. It's been gaining a lot of momentum recently. Nathan Myhrvold's book, The Modernist Cuisine, came out just over a year ago.
Yeah,
that's
all
certainly
700 pounds and $700 of it.
4 pounds of ink in every copy.
Yeah.
So that's helping, kind of create awareness for it, and a lot more chefs and even home enthusiasts are trying it a lot more often.
So tell us what the advantages are. I mean, this is a bread box size device.
That's exactly what it looks like.
And like we
bread
make
maker
bread
almost.
maker,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So you bag up a seasoned piece of protein or anything really. You vacuum seal it.
Yep.
and you drop it into this circulation system that keeps the temperature. What are the advantages to doing this?
Oh, well, there are lots, but I find the main advantage is because it's your steak or your chicken breast or whatever is trapped in the bag with all your seasoning already in there.
Oh, but it's not trapped, though.
It's
nestled.
It likes it in there, yeah. It can leave if it wants. No. So your steak is basically cooking in its own juices. You don't lose any of the natural flavors, nutrients, or moisture down the grill or up into the air like you would with traditional methods.
Okay.
Also, it's very, very convenient. You really can't overcook anything. So a steak cooks for about an hour. It's done after about 45 minutes to an hour. You can leave it in there for 6, 7, 8 hours.
It kind of reminds. It sounds like marinating and slow cooker. Using
Like
a
a
slow
crock
cooker,
pot.
It's slow cooker on steroids,
but
right? Because it's bagged.
completely airtight.
Yeah.
To
and it's set it and forget it kind of thing.
Exactly. And with a slow cooker, obviously, it would dry it out if you were stuck in traffic or an hour late, right? With this, no big deal at all. So if you're having a dinner party, people show up late, or you're not ready to eat yet, or other parts of the meal are taking way longer than you thought, that's fine. You just leave this in. It's your last step. You take it out when you're ready, and it takes all the stress out of cooking. It's really
and
quite
there's a lot
something.
of computerized sort of buttons and things that set it so that people don't have to worry about being technically oriented. You just sort of click start, set the temperature, and off you go.
There's 5 buttons on the front of it. It's very easy. It's kind of like an iPod, right? Just a couple buttons does everything you need. So it's got a timer right on the front. You set the temp, put it in, walk away. It's very easy. I'm going to show you.
Let's start with the beginning, I guess, and that is the sealing process.
Yes. So we'll vacuum seal some salmon I have here. I should be all right for this part.
So do you need anything special? Do you have to buy a special bag for this? Or is there something that I would already have in my home to do this? Or are you buying special pieces?
There's a couple special things. So you need a vacuum sealer and high-quality food-grade bags because you don't want to use something cheap like a Ziploc bag.
Where something might leach into your food.
Right, exactly. So all these bags have been third-party tested. They're BPA and lead-free, and they're high-quality food-grade. And you're really not heating anything to such a high temperature that you need, like the properties of the plastic aren't going to be changing at all, right?
That's
because
good
it's
to know.
only
It's
being
really good to know.
like we're cooking this steak here at 56 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
Anyway, so we're going to vacuum seal this salmon with some dill and some lemon right in the bag there.
So we can hear
show
that.
you how easy this is. And so it just takes all the air right out of there. And because your lemon and your dill is right in there with the meat, it's actually going to penetrate deep within the cut. So you're not just going to have that flavor on the exterior. It's going to be all the way through the cut.
Now, to paint a picture for our listeners who may not be watching on the internet, this is being...
570news.com webcast.
This is being webcast. It kind of looks like, once it's sealed in those pouches, it looks like, those freeze-dried pouches of food that you would take if you were going camping.
Camping, that's right.
Winter camping, or what astronauts might use on their...
Astronauts.
It's completely airtight.
Can you sous vide tang? Speaking of astronauts,
do they still make tang?
Astronauts can't taste anything.
That was a total 70s thing.
Astronauts cannot taste anything when they're eating up there.
Really?
So they've started to use a lot of chipotle in there. No, I'm serious.
Good.
They can't taste.
Okay, now
what's
he's
happening
removing
now?
an airtight bag from the sous vide.
Oh,
So how long
smell
is that steak?
that.
How long has that steak
Oven
been in there?
This is a ribeye steak. I put it in there about an hour ago, maybe a little longer. But like I said, doesn't matter how long.
Oh,
I actually put
smell
steaks
that.
in before I go to work sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
And then it's ready after an hour. I come back 8 hours later, take it out, and then you want to sear it quickly just to give it that browning color on the outside. So that's what I'm about to do here. I'm managing.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Here we go, everyone. The smell-o-vision coming your way.
Boy.
Okay, it's been removed
Smell
from
radio.
the sous vide pouch, and now it's being placed on a frying pan just to be... You're searing it right now?
Right, we're just
Got
doing
cracked
30 seconds
pepper
on
on it.
high heat on each side, and that just gives it that nice color.
Yeah, all we need is a little bit of color on it, right?
Right, exactly. So you can do it on your grill if you want the grill lines. You can do it with a kitchen blowtorch if you have one of those. They're
Yeah,
really
most people
cool.
do, I think.
Yeah, you know what? I got one for my sister for Christmas
Did
for
you?
creme brulee,
I have one
just so
too.
we
I
could be
love it,
fancy
yeah,
once a
yeah.
year.
It's good for lighting cigars, too.
I made creme brulee in this before as well. It
I was
going to
ask about the dessert angle.
Oh, does it ever smell good now?
Oh,
Vegetables.
you guys
desserts,
will be
ribs.
smelling this at 5
this
o'clock
is
tomorrow morning.
we will. This is fantastic. So, Dustin, is this something? It does look like a bread maker that my kids could use. Like,
Oh,
is it
for
that,
sure. It
is there a
is
safety
honestly-
concern or?
It's so easy to use. The water doesn't really get that hot, so
Dustin, we should, well, let me just say, Lisa Drew and Glenn Pelchier are here with me, the 570 News morning team news anchors. They're here in the studio, as is, of course, Dustin Skew of Cedar Lane Culinary. Dustin, we should explain that you're not a chef. I don't know if you've mentioned that. We should point that out. And I'm not saying that in any
He
kind
looks
of,
like a chef
but,
to me.
but,
Really?
I mean, the point is, it wouldn't make much credibility if you had like a gourmet chef up there, a guy that's got all kinds of training, and he's doing this. This is something that anybody can do, really. You don't
Yes,
have to-
exactly.
Even Glenn.
I started cooking this way about 4 or 5 months ago.
Next week, hamburger helper.
When we brought the product on, and I've gone from grilled cheese and burgers to cooking duck confit and making my own
Wow.
creme fraiche.
I love
and,
that.
Do you have a girlfriend, Dustin?
Since I started cooking
You're
this
married,
way,
right?
now I do
I
actually.
think this will help him out. I'm
yeah, I
impressed.
think it might have.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the company, where you're based, and how people can get the product? Because this looks like it would be majorly convenient for a lot of people who are pressed for time.
It is, and so we're selling right now through our website. There's 2 models. There's the Sous Vide Supreme, which is the larger stainless steel one right there, and then there is a smaller colored unit which comes in 4 colors. So the larger one's $3.99, and the smaller one is $2.99. And then they also come in packages with a vac sealer and some bags, a sous vide cookbook, and a how-to DVD. Basically everything you need to get started, and those are about $70 more. The vac sealer is very durable. I use it not only for sous vide, but also for storing things in the fridge. And we also offer free shipping Canada-wide, FedEx.
Yeah.
And
that was a good
As
que-
Lisa said, this is not a huge cumbersome item. It's
No,
very attractive.
It's very nice
and
looking.
It's rather compact, so it would not take up much space in your kitchen.
No.
And it looks like a small microwave. And
Yeah,
there's a stainless steel one over here. It looks really nice.
Pretty nice, yeah.
And
Hey,
sous vide,
Dustin,
by the
it's
way,
a-
is SOUS-VIDE
Yeah, it means
for those that
under-
want to
yeah,
Google it.
right.
If you want to know about the company.
And Dustin, the idea for me would be maybe to take something like a brisket or a little rougher cut, maybe even something like a round steak or something, and be able to cook a less expensive piece of meat or any kind of food product to get more value out of it. You sort of don't have to go with prime rib and some
Right.
very expensive cuts.
For sure. So things like flank steak, which are a lot cheaper, because they're so tender and they're so juicy, it actually tastes more like filet mignon coming out. Like it really is something else.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of fat in them, so
Exactly.
that's what needs the special cooking
Exactly.
technique.
Now,
Okay,
would the
great.
appeal of this also be you could totally do a low-fat menu on this? You
Oh,
don't
for
need to
sure.
add the butter. Like you could totally,
I've
because
got-
it's locking in the moisture, go.
Yeah.
I have a
fat-free.
chicken breast in here that hopefully we'll have time to take out, and I'll give you a piece. It'll
You know what?
blow
and
your mind.
And I hate
and
chicken
it's-
breast. It's one of my least
You
favorite
do?
foods. I could never ever
Because
buy
you
a
dry it out every
Oh,
time,
well,
right?
no, I'm an excellent cook, but I'm wait a second, buddy, wait a second. No, I mean, I just find it uninteresting. I like dark chicken meat. I don't like a chicken breast. I mean, you have to cook it precisely and nice and tender. It's boring. But however, in this though, you get all kinds of flavors
Oh,
that cook
and
right
it's
in.
deep
Now, is
within
this-
it.
is
Now
your steak
this,
here?
I'll show you the steak here.
Oh,
Give us
look at
the
that.
other shot.
benefit
Put it right
is
up on the camera.
Wow, that's
It's,
beautiful.
it cooks it evenly and perfectly medium rare
Wow.
from edge to edge every single time.
And how long would that have cooked for?
That took about an hour,
Okay.
but honestly, it'll look the exact same after
what's,
6-7 hours. It's
Wow.
because
Now,
it
that's
heats
the
up.
beauty of it.
Right, exactly. And it heats
Look at
up
that.
like
Thank you.
that's cooking at 56 degrees. If you want a medium well steak, you
Which
put
would
it
be
at
me.
60 degrees. So it's not a thing about it's
Time.
not about time,
It's
it's
about
about the temperature.
temperature,
Right.
yeah.
So when you can precisely control the temperature with one of these, then
It
it comes
does-
out like that
it just
every
does
single
not
time.
Overcook. And
yeah.
you can go do things. If you're not back in time from work, it doesn't matter.
Right.
If you're entertaining at a party and you're having a good conversation, you don't want to quite serve, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Great.
What,
Yeah.
cu- what
Wow,
cut
look
of
at that.
what cut
I
of
know.
steak
That's
is
beautiful.
That's a ribeye,
The ribeye,
which is a
That's
pretty
good
nice
steak to
cut.
begin
But
with,
yeah,
so
for
you're
sure.
certainly not ruining it if you. You don't want to ruin. You can ruin like a
Like a
round
chicken
or
breast?
something, or chicken breast. But with that, baby, you want to make sure you take really good care of it.
Yeah.
Stewing beef?
Feed you craft dinner in a sous vide.
What about testicles? Have you ever cooked offal in there?
I'm kind of new to this.
Glenn
I
looked
haven't
a
tried
little
anything
horrified
like
there.
that.
Tongue?
Well, he just out of the blue goes, "What about testicles?"
Yeah.
No,
Sorry,
I mean,
but
I
I
mean,
mean,
we're,
off
talking
guard a
about,
bit.
we're talking about cheap cuts of animals.
I'm sorry, but I just thought it was a
Brain,
non
yeah.
sequitur.
Well, yeah, it is a non sequitur. That's what I'm famous for, my non sequiturs.
Any-
What is a non sequitur anyway? So, Dustin, what do we got next? What else can we
We're going to do some asparagus and some 64-degree eggs as well, which you put them right in the shell, and then you take them out
Oh, I
and just
love it.
crack them. So they're perfect for eggs Benedict or with your toast, or I'll show you. The
Love
yolk
it.
is like a custard, It comes out phenomenal every time, and that's another thing. It takes about an hour at 64 degrees or 15 minutes at 75. But if it's at 64, you can leave it for 2, 3, 4 hours. So
and
if
how
you
do you
go
know
back
it
to
is,
bed,
being like Safety Susie, how do you know it is fully cooked in terms of what we're used to cooking, when you put it in the oven?
basically just follow the formula.
There's just that
And
easy.
honestly, once you try it once or twice,
You
you'll
get
understand
that.
how
Okay.
easy it is.
Look, how are you able to cook at such low temperatures?
It's basically all bacteria is killed off at 55 degrees. So if you cook anything above that for at least half an hour, then it's all safe to eat. And they actually come with a nice little pamphlet with all sorts of different cuts of meat and how long to cook it. And if it's extra thick, then cook it for this much
So
longer.
where are we going next?
We're going to do asparagus.
Okay, let's do this. We need to take a break. So
Okay.
you can sort of get yourself set up then as we take a break. I just got to tell you that future guests on the food show will include the 570 morning show host Jeff Allen, the Jeff Allen Show. He'll be here next week, and the week after that we'll also be having on the region's fire chiefs to talk a little bit about fire hall cookery, which might be kind of fun.
That's fun.
But stay tuned, don't go away. You're going to have more sous vide coming up right here on the food show after these messages.
This is the Food Show with Andrew Coppolino. To call Andrew, 519-570-2545. By cell, star 570. Or toll free, 1-800-570-5715. You're listening to the Food Show with Andrew Coppolino on 570 News.
Hey, welcome back. Yes, it is the Food Show. Andrew is here with you, Lisa Drew and Glenn Pelche, the 570 News morning team, telling you all about what's going on in your world every single day, with updates throughout the day too, guys. Like you come on and I see you on Twitter.
And we should point out that we were here earlier, just afternoon, to review Holy Guacamole,
right?
9 Duke Street in Kitchener, and we loved it. We gave it reviews.
5 sombreros, Glenn.
Yeah, 5 sombreros out of 5.
So thanks, guys, for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank
We have
you.
just a few minutes left in the show, but we have Dustin Skew here from Cedar Lane Culinary, cedarlaneculinary.ca, and he's going to give you some more tips about cooking sous vide, what it is. But we do have a caller here that has a question. Hi, is this Dave? Are you there, Dave?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Dave. You're calling from Toronto?
I am. Yes,
And-
I had a question for Dustin.
Go ahead.
I'm an amateur sous videer, and by that I mean I don't own a machine myself, but a friend of mine was gracious enough to loan it to me along with the vacuum sealer.
Right.
And when I put all the seasonings in the bag with the chicken or steak or whatever, I found it hard to get the vacuum to seal properly with all of the liquids in the bag. I was wondering if Dustin had any advice
Okay,
on
I'll
that.
repeat the question. Dustin doesn't have his headphones on right now. The question is, he's an amateur sous vide. He got some experience. He's finding it difficult. He's trying to put stuff in a bag, lots of fluids and seasonings, sometimes tough to close the bag. Is he using the wrong size bag? Is that encapsulating your question, Dave?
Yeah, it's when there's liquid in the bag.
When there's liquid in the bag.
Vacuum sealer sucks the liquid up and it won't seal properly.
Vacuum seal sucks
Right.
the liquid up.
Right. Okay. So there are a couple ways to deal with this.
Thanks, Dave.
The first is there's more expensive chamber vacuum sealers, which you can buy if you're super serious. But I don't really want to go there. They're about $800 or more. What I like to do is I fill the sink with water, and then I just place the bag with everything in it into the sink, and it's called, I think, Archimedes principle, where basically the water displaces the other water, and then you're not going to get every single ounce of oxygen out of the bag, but you'll get a lot of it out, and it'll be good enough that it won't float in your sous vide bath.
Oh, good tip. Using science again.
Yes, it's
I
all
think,
about
I think
science.
Archimedes discovered the Chipotle, if I remember.
Grade 9 to grade 10
So what's
science.
yeah. So Dustin, what's up now? Now we got Pelche over here.
This is-
cooking
yeah,
up.
Glenn's got the
He's cooking up.
tongs.
He's got the tongs.
He's
looking
working
real
the
funny.
grill
We
here.
all
Yeah.
have our obsessions when it comes to cooking.
Yeah, yours
and
is?
I hate overcooking things.
Oh, okay.
I
Like
like
chicken
using,
breast?
I love
Yeah.
using low heat.
Okay.
So when I'm barbecuing, I like to use the lowest possible heat. So I'm almost obsessive about cooking things at too high heat. So I was going to turn that down without even without asking. I just wanted to, I felt, but I thought, wait a minute, it's his job.
Yeah,
What am
you
I
never
doing?
step in. Yeah, you shouldn't step into another cook's.
Yeah, I'll be
yeah.
cooking with Emily, and I'll just turn something down. She goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
That's my thing. What's your thing?
So
He doesn't like chicken breast.
I got the chicken farmers of Ontario is going to be giving me a call. I shouldn't say I don't like them.
No,
if they're
you
cooked
shouldn't.
properly.
you're
they're
going to like
great.
this.
Okay, what do we got, Dustin?
So we just finished searing a chicken breast, which was cooking at 64
Oh,
degrees
wow.
for about an hour and a
64
bit.
Celsius.
Celsius, yes,
Yeah.
sorry. And the machine goes back and forth between Fahrenheit or Celsius, whatever you prefer. There's just a button for that. I'll let you try a piece of that. It is super tender, super juicy chicken.
I hope that the camera that's got me can take a look at this, Jordan, in the back. This looks beautiful. Smells great.
A great-looking Easter meal right there.
There you go.
We haven't even got to the eggs yet. So the chicken, the salmon, the asparagus, and the eggs are all cooking at 64 degrees. So you can really cook an entire meal in one of these things very easily.
And that is very low temperature, which, if you think about it, that's actually going to save you money. You're using less.
Sure, he said it was like
using
a 60
less electricity
watt bulb or something.
Oh yeah, once it's heated up, it uses the same electricity as a 60-watt light bulb.
Okay,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I'm eating a piece of asparagus now that's been cooked, but it tastes like this fresh asparagus that I got out of the ground when I went to Barry's Asparagus Farm in Cambridge.
And still a little crunchy, right?
It's still got a little bit of tooth. I would say it's just about perfect.
Yeah.
And the flavors are amazing because that tastes like...
The garlic actually penetrates right into the asparagus.
But
right?
subtly, though, subtly.
And I've got a 64-degree egg here. I'm going to show you guys this. So you cook it in the shell, and then you just crack it and plop it right down there. Look at that. It would have been better if it stayed on the asparagus.
Perfect for eggs, Benny.
But that's
perfect for
perfect,
eggs.
yeah.
And it's actually pretty good with asparagus dipped in there. Look at that yolk. Like a custard almost, right? It just kind of sticks right to it.
How long has that egg been cooking?
That egg was about an hour and 20 minutes, but you can leave it up in there up to about 3.
Cooking an egg for an hour and 20 minutes.
Right,
That's
so
hilarious.
I do it. I usually do it at 75 for 15 minutes, but you have to be a little more accurate with the timing. And then the last thing we have here is champagne-infused strawberries.
This is why he has a girlfriend
for my
now.
guest. For my guest.
No
please,
kidding.
yeah.
Oh, hello.
So
Look
you
at that. This
actually
get a shot of this?
Yeah.
Where's the camera?
That is beautiful.
and with creme fraiche that I made last night, also in the sous vide.
Cheers.
Everything in the sous vide.
Everything in the sous vide,
Well,
for
that's
sure.
just excellent. Yeah, and I think that's amazing, Dustin. Last, I guess we would just want to say, give you an opportunity to just tell us a little bit about the website and a little bit to wind up here.
Right. So it's Cedar Lane Culinary, like the tree, .ca. And if you are new to sous vide, or if you want to check out some how-to videos, get a little bit more background information on that, everything's on there. And also tons of customer testimonials telling you how easy.
Yeah,
and
lots
how
of good
great it
information
is.
on that website so people can learn about it. And I think it is worthwhile kitchen appliance if you want to elevate and also simplify, and I guess, and make more convenient your cooking.
Certainly.
Thanks for
sure.
joining me, and Lisa and Glenn. We really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
feeding
Thank you
us.
very
Thanks for
much.
having me.
Nice job.
Very nice treat.
That's Dustin Skew of Cedar Lane Culinary, cedarlane.ca. Well, we have about 30 seconds, Glenn and Lisa. How does that taste, Glenn?
He's done.
I figure this is the way I'll be able to get out on time because Glenn will actually have his mouth full of strawberries.
Look, I heard there was champagne in it.
Yeah.
No, this is beautiful.
And you're thinking too.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Just a
It
great
looks-
meal altogether.
It's a really fun thing. It's a really fun thing to do. It's I like the idea that it's so convenient. And
And again, best of luck to our friends at Holy Guacamole.
right.
Yeah, very
2
nice
months,
lunch.
2 months to the area, 2 months in that area.
Yeah, I wouldn't think more than that.
And
Yeah.
we wish them all the best of luck in their new venture.
Well, I think that's about it then. I want to say thanks to everybody. We've got some great shows coming up, so continue to tune in here at noon on Sunday. Thanks to Lisa Drew, of course, Glenn Peltier, the 570 Morning News team, and Dustin Skew of Cedar Lane Culinary, cedarlane.ca. Thanks also to our
Cedar Lane
culinary.
Culinary,
Sorry, yeah, thank you. Here at 570 News, our internet producers, Jordan Carbone, and our studio operator here, Craig Ainsworth. Visit 570 News for an archive of past shows, and you can follow The Food Show at twitter.com/570 Show and read my Kitchener Post column each and every Friday. Join us again next week. Again, Jeff Allen will be here from 570, and he'll take us to one of his favorite neighborhood restaurants. I'm really interested in seeing what that is. Remember to eat wisely and eat well. I want to thank you for joining us here at The Food Show, and it's only on 570 News.